is amazing how attitudes seem to change when it comes to the almighty dollar. It is amazing how pretend hatred and fake outrage magically seem to disappear when it comes to making money. It's also amazing how bitterness tends to subside when you realize that you need someone. Not only do you need them, you come to the harsh realization that you have to have them to be successful. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Didn't we just go through an entire WNBA season where jealous dump divers were expressing their unhinged bitterness towards Caitlyn Clark? Didn't we just go through a season where WNBA players claimed that the league was popular? The entire league was getting recognized when riding the back of the garbage truck. They told us all these amazing stories about prepubescent boys who aspire to become WNBA players when they grow up, chasing after the garbage truck, hoping to get an autograph from their favorite trash collector. I want bearded Brenda. I want Betty Beck here. I want the autograph of Bob Greiner. It could be worth millions of pesos if she travels back to Mother Russia. Throughout the season, WNBA players, along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they downplayed the impact of Caitlyn Clark. Remember Monica McNutt from ESPN and her 15 seconds of fame? Back in June, Monica, she was invited on First Take as a guest. As is often the case with parishioners at Woke United Methodist, Monica, she thought that she was owed something. She thought her status in Club DEI gave her the right to bite the hand that was feeding her. She chastised Stephen A. Smith on his own show for only talking about Caitlyn Clark and ignoring the vast collection of unknown players in the WNBA. Now, in the short term, this was a great strategy. Monica was invited to appear on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. She was basking in her temporary mainstream recognition. Several days later, Monica McNutt, she went back to being anonymous. The other day at Publix, I saw her face on the side of a milk carton. No one can find her. Now, what happened with Monica McNutt in June? That was a microcosm of the 2024 season in the WNBA. A league filled with short-term thinkers. A league filled with unknown players who couldn't look past their overwhelming jealousy. A league that's been begging to be noticed for 3 decades. They could not look past the bitterness to recognize that they finally had a cash cow. They finally had a megastar who could elevate the rest of the league. But it's strange. As soon as WNBA players have a financial stake in the business, as soon as they put their own money into something expecting a return on their investment, who are they calling, begging for them to join? Who are they breaking the bank for, hoping that she will save their league from becoming WNBA 2.0? Caitlyn Clark. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to my second channel in the description below. Later on this afternoon, we're going to be talking about Deion Sanders fading to irrelevance. Ratings for Colorado games this season, they have hit record lows for the Deion Sanders era. So make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the second channel this afternoon. As you guys know, starving WNBA players who are tired of making minimum wage, they decided to put their fate, along with their potential earnings, in their own hands. Now, all kidding aside, I admire the ambition of Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier. Bree Stu, she decided that minimum wage in the WNBA, that was not good enough. The tips that she receives from making her world-famous Bree Stu in the cafeteria, those tips combined with her minimum wage salary, that's not enough to pay her bills. Now, instead of whining and complaining about receiving money that they haven't earned, Bree and Fee, they decided to do something about it. They were not going to wait for the NBA to increase their entitlements. They weren't going to wait for the NBA to boost their woke welfare. They decided to launch a pretend basketball league of their own called Unrivaled. Now, seriously, all kidding aside, I know I joke a lot about WNBA players here on the channel, but I really do admire their ambition here. I respect anyone who starts their own business. I respect anyone who puts their own fate in their own hands and believes in themselves. I know how difficult that is to do because I did it myself. So credit to Breanna, Stewart, and Napheesa Collier for refusing to rely on the NBA for their income. Unrivaled is basically the female version of the Big Three. Well, Casey, are you talking about the Big Three stars who play for the New York Liberals? No, I'm talking about the real Big Three, the league owned by Ice Cube that features former NBA players. Now, obviously, the quality of play in Unrivaled won't come anywhere close to matching the quality of play in the Big Three, but more than likely, this will be the best female basketball league in America, which is bad news for Kat Engelbert and the WNBA dump. Unrivaled is going to feature the 30 best pretend basketball players, with the vast majority of them being anonymous. Now, they do have one star committed to playing in the league. Unfortunately, it's a star that most people don't like, Angel Reese. But they're hoping a shitload of money will convince the real star to commit to their league. Last week, it was announced that TNT would be the home network of Unrivaled. Now, TNT is investing millions of dollars into the league, hoping it will eventually become a replacement for the NBA, which they are going to lose after this season. This week, it was announced that Unrivaled, they are offering Caitlyn Clark $1 million for 2 months of her services. $1 million to carry a new basketball league from January to March. When I saw this announcement, I was confused about it. I thought WNBA players didn't like Caitlyn Clark. More importantly, I thought WNBA players didn't need Caitlyn Clark. Why would they be willing to make her the highest paid player in their new league? Why would they be willing to offer her more money than she would make in the WNBA in a decade? It doesn't make sense, right? You have downplayed her impact, her importance all season. You have done everything you can to diminish her. And all of a sudden, you're offering her $1 million along with a ownership stake in your new league? I guarantee you, the idea to offer Caitlyn Clark this money, it did not come from WNBA players. It didn't come from Breanna Stewart, didn't come from Napheesa Collier, damn sure didn't come from Angel Reese. I mean, why would Angel Reese want Caitlyn Clark in this new league? If Caitlyn Clark is there, the spotlight of Angel Reese, it becomes a shadow. I guarantee you, the idea to bring in Caitlyn Clark, it came directly from TNT. Now, this is pure speculation on my part. I'm just guessing here. But I would be willing to bet TNT was only willing to invest and broadcast this new league if they promised to recruit Caitlyn Clark. I mean, think about it. Without Caitlyn Clark, this league is a polished turd. That's not my opinion. We have 30 years of evidence to back it up. For nearly 30 years, the WNBA was able to prove two things. They don't have the ability to draw ratings, and they don't have the ability to generate profit. Why would TNT be willing to invest in a new league that was nothing but WNBA 2.0? Why would TNT try to monetize something that has 30 years of evidence proving it's not able to be monetized? Now, a lot of people are claiming that Caitlyn Clark would be foolish not to take this deal. $1 million for about 8 weeks worth of work, that's not bad money. But here's the potential problem. Caitlyn Clark already has money. She signed a $28 million deal with Nike. She's got endorsement deals from State Farm and a handful of other companies. Caitlyn Clark doesn't necessarily need the money. Now, even with that being the case, it would still be incredibly difficult to turn down $1 million. Now, I don't know what I would do if I was in Caitlyn Clark's situation. Part of me thinks that my pride would influence me to turn this deal down. All season, you have been telling everyone how much you don't need Caitlyn Clark. This is your opportunity to see if you can survive without her. This is your opportunity to see if Angel Reese is enough of a draw to carry a new league. I think the answer's no, but there's only one way to find out. Now, the problem if Caitlyn Clark declines their offer and Unrivaled ends up drawing big ratings, it could diminish her impact. She might not be as important to the success of women's basketball as she is right now. Now, is that a risk that Caitlyn Clark is willing to take? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see how this new league affects the WNBA. Right now, the WNBA, they are supporting Unrivaled publicly. We think it's great that our minimum wage earners have the opportunity to make real money somewhere else. It's a win-win for everyone. We don't have to pay them, and they're happy because they're no longer starving. Problem is, if this league takes off, if Unrivaled takes off, it could potentially replace the WNBA. Now, I'm not saying that the WNBA wouldn't exist. We wouldn't get that lucky. But top talent, they could choose Unrivaled over the dump. If the league is a success and they start offering players life-changing money, why in the hell would you waste your time in the WNBA where you're making $75,000 a year? Well, KC, they would still play in the WNBA for the love of the game. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Give me your thoughts on this. After a season of claiming that they don't need her, WNBA players are now begging Caitlyn Clark to join their new league. Now, what would you do if you were advising Caitlyn Clark? Would you tell her to take the money, or would you tell her to let these jealous players try to make it on their own? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com. See you guys later.